What's up, you guys? We have a long video today. The only way you guys are going to get this code is by going through this tutorial and doing it yourself. Yep. Maybe at the end, if you want the code, I'll have something you got to do, and then we can trade off, right? So let's first start off. This is a wagering algorithm. This is an algorithm that one of my friends asked me to make, and I was like, oh damn, I never thought about that. Like why not have an algorithm that just kind of runs forever? So let's just get started, and I'll show you what's cool about this. And I kind of came up with some other new concepts. All right, so let me switch screens here. All right, you guys. So the wagering algorithm, here's how it's going to work, right? Let me get a pencil here. This is where we start off with profits, right? 0. Suppose we're betting with $100 or 100, whatever, Satoshis or whatnot. We need to have an algorithm that kind of just goes on indefinitely. Well, not indefinitely, but it just kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and you slowly lose your money, right? So the only way to do that is simply at 49.5% or 50%, right? So what you would do is, like, if you win, you bet 1. If you lose, you bet 1. If you win, you bet 1. If you lose, you bet 1. So you bet the same thing over and over and over again, right? So that's what we're going to have to do for the first algorithm. That's the algorithm that's in this range right here. Between these two red lines, if you're betting 1, winning 1, losing 1, winning 1, it's going to stay within here, but eventually it'll fall down. So when it falls down to this limit here, we're going to say like negative 10% of your base bet, negative 10% of your base bet, then we will have to switch to a different algorithm. So that algorithm that we're going to switch to is going to have to be lower than your base bet, and it would have to be multiplied higher than what we were doing here, which is we were just multiplying by 1, right? We're just saying bet 1 every time. So at the negative 10, if it falls below here, what we're going to do is we're going to make the bet even smaller, maybe 10 times smaller. And then if it loses, we're going to multiply by 2, right? And if we do that, we want to kick this up just a little notch. It might go down some more. It will go down some more, right? But we're going to kick this up just a little notch, just so it falls back into the range. And once it's back in the range, we go back to betting win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win. Okay, then blah, blah, blah. It'll keep going. It'll just keep doing that. Every time it falls down, kicks back up into the range. And then sometimes, because we have a 50% chance, right? It'll go back between losing and winning. So there we spoke about what happens when we lose. So what happens when we win? If it goes above 10% of the base bet, which means if you're betting by 100 and it goes up to 110, what I came up with was, I said, you know what? I don't want this to just wage, right? All right. So then what I came up with was, I thought, hey, you know what? Since we're above 10%, let's take the profit, okay? So we're going to take the profit, right? If it goes up above 10%, we take the profit. You had $100, now it's 110, we take $10. We set our new 0 line to be here. So now this is 0, okay? And then our new minus 10% line would be somewhere down here, and then our new positive 10% line would be somewhere there. And now the algorithm repeats itself again. So that's what we're going to do. We have to do it at 50%. Why do we do it at 50%? Because it is a payout of 1 to 2. And that's a 50% chance of winning. That is like the best odds, okay? You put $1, you win $2. You put 5, you win 10, right? So let's keep it simple, okay? Let's not get crazy with the 67 and 29 and multiplying by 3.25 and things like that. No. So we're going to keep it 1 to 2. And this is the gist of it. So let's get started, man. So what am I going to do here? Boop. All right. Let me change this to LUA. Okay. All right, guys. So first off, we're gonna need to define our base bet. Like I said, we're gonna start off with 100, right? And then I'm gonna hold that base bet because I know the base bet changes as you're playing. So I'm gonna hold this base bet in a static BB. Okay. I'm gonna hold the base bet so it doesn't change. So we know that if we ever need to access the base bet without it being manipulated, the original one is static BB, okay? And then we're gonna need chance to be 49.5, right? Cool. We're gonna have to keep track of the wager, how much we're wagering, because the whole point of this algorithm is to wager, right? And as we're wagering, we're just gonna make some money. Why not, right? So we need the algorithm to wager and just over time with like $10, you can wager like 30 times that money or 100 times that money, right? Just with 10 bucks over time. That's the goal, because when you wager, you get better bonuses and you get more perks depending on what site you guys are on, right? So, okay. So we're gonna wager. We have two modes, okay? Which are like two algorithms. We're gonna start with mode 1. We're gonna initialize it at mode 1. We want to start at some default mode, which is gonna be 1, okay? And when we let's do true profit equals 0. When we reset the 0, we're going to be resetting the stats, so we have to keep track of the profit. Okay? All right. And then I guess to start off the script, you have to say what the next bet is. Without saying what the next bet is, the computer has no idea what to do, right? So we're going to say the next bet is the base bet, which is the first bet. Cool. So let's start our script now. We'll do a function do bet, open bracket, close bracket, end, right? Now within the do bet, what do we need to do? Well, we have two modes, right? So we're going to say if mode equals 1. If the mode is 1, then do something. If mode equals 2, then do something. Okay? Now within mode 1, right? If you win, then do something. Else you lose, do something. Okay? In mode 2, if you win, then do something. Else you lose, do something. Okay? This is sort of like the template of where we're getting there. This is sort of a template about, like, you know, where we're going. So let's see. Let's see here. All right. So mode 1, I'm going to say mode 1 is the in range mode. That's what I'm going to call it, okay? Mode 2 is going to be the out of range mode. Okay? So in the range mode, if you bet $1 and then you win, what's the next bet? Well, if you win, the next bet is just the previous bet, right? Well, no, let's not say previous bet. Let's say base bet. It's like starting a new game. I win $1, I put another $1. So within the range, what we want to do is play 1, win 1, lose 1, Lose one, win one, win one, lose one, lose one. That's what we want to do. It sounds weird, but we're not really getting anywhere, but that's the whole point, right? Now, if you were to lose in mode 1, which is in the range, what are we doing? If we were to lose, right? I said if we lose one, if we lose, we lose 1. We bet 1, we lose 1. Okay. But how about let's do this. Let's do the next bet will be 2% of your previous bet. You get that? So we're actually not going to do one. We're going to increase it by just a tad bit. Okay. So if you bet $1 and you lose that, your next bet is going to be $1.02. Okay. That's how it's going to work. And if I just did this, this would be 2 cents, right? Previous bet times 0.02. What we need to do is we need to also add the original base bet. So it'd be the base bet plus your previous bet times the percentage, right? Okay. So that's the in-range stuff, which is pretty straight up. Now the outer range stuff is same thing. So if you're out of the range and if you win, so you're out of range and if you win, then your next bet is still going to be your base bet. Because no matter what, when you win, you want to go back to the base, right? You want to reset back to base when you win. So that works for both cases. So now, else, right? Else, we're going to have to do if you were to go down and if you're out of the range, we're going to do next bet equals previous bet times 2. Out of range. Okay, now we haven't defined what that next bet is yet. But so if immediately when you're out of range, like I said, once you're out of range, we want to make your base bet even smaller. We don't want to use the same base bet because you're betting by 100 and now you're out of range. And all we want to do is just kick that graph back up to the top, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take that next bet, right? We're going to take that next bet. And then we're going to make it equal to your base bet, divide that by 10. You're asking me what, like, why are we doing this? Well, let's go back here. We'll say we're betting, our base bet here was 100. And we go all the way down, minus 10%. Now, the only way to get back up really fast is to multiply by 2. 1, 2, 4, 8. Now, that can get a little risky. So to minimize that risk, because no matter what, we're going to have to multiply by 2. Because if we don't multiply by 2, we're not going to gain any profits up. If we multiply again by 2%, right? By 2 cents, 4 cents, we're going to go even lower and lower. So we have to multiply by 2 in order to get the profit up. And the best way to minimize that risk is, say you're betting at 100, you divide that by 10. You can even divide it by 100. Then you'll be doing 1. But I'm going to divide by 10, okay? You divide by 10, then you take the 10, and if you win 10, you make 10. And if you lose 10, you go to 20. You lose 20, you go to 40. But if you win 40, you get 80, right? So that's the way. So you're making a lot. And then you're allowing some losses under the range. And when you win, you will bounce back up back into this range up here. Let me take this out. back into this range up here. So once you win, you would be back in here. That's the whole goal. And we're minimizing the risk by dividing that base bet by 10. Okay? I hope you guys understand that, right? All right. So now we only have to we're only going to have to divide that base bet by 10 only once. Because look, I defined next bet divided by 10 here, and then I said next bet equals period, because we need this. After you do this, after it's in next bet divided by 10, then we need next bet equals previous bet times 2 in case we lose. So these two can't be next to each other. We need some sort of like switch or something, you know? So let's do this. Let's say if switch equals 1, then do this for the first time. The first time that it goes under the range, the next bet is going to be the base bet divided by 10 only for the first time. And then we put the switch back to 0. Okay? End. Oh, not end, but else. Because we don't want to do this. So we need to put this in its own thing. Else, that means switch will equal 0. And then it would, we're going to do else because else is going to be switch equals 0. Then after that, it's going to be the base bet divided by 10 times 2. Right? So it's going to be 10 times 2, which would be 20. And it'll come back down 20, go to 40, etc. Okay. I hope you're following me here, what we're doing. All right. Now, at the end of the script, we can also keep track of the wager, right? We could do wager equals wager plus previous bet. Right? Is that right? Yeah. Because whatever we bet, that's what we wage. So we're keeping all our bets in a pot called wager. Okay. So, oh, also, yeah, on top, we're gonna have to keep track of the profit, right? So true profit equals true profit plus each and every current profit that we make when this code runs. So for the first game, get that profit, second game, get that profit, second, third bet, get that profit. Accumulate that into a pot called true profit. Okay. So now we have a thing where it's like, we have mode 1, mode 2. It looks great. The problem is now, how are we going to, when do we tell it to go to mode 1 or mode 2? Right now, we've written out mode 1 and we've written out mode 2, and we need a way for it to go to those modes. So let's do this. Let's do a check mode function. I'm calling it here. So what is check mode? Well, we're gonna have to define check mode, right? Function check mode. End. So every time this code runs, it'll get the profit and then it'll check mode. Okay, so what's inside check mode? All right. All right, so what's inside check mode? Well, check mode is going to be where we define the limit and the threshold. Check mode's going to say, hey, if it's below this, do this. If it's below this, go to mode 2. If it's above this, go to mode 1. That's what check mode is going to do. So in here, we're going to say, let's do the out of range first, right? Say we go if My monitor turned off. Okay. If the profit, right, is less than or equal to, no, let's go less than negative base bet times 10, then something. In range, or no. Out of, we're going to say out of limit here. Limit is at the bottom. Out of threshold will be at the top. Out of threshold. If profit is greater than base bet times 10, then boom, do something. That's the template, right? So we're saying if your profit is below 10% of your base bet, we're saying if your profit is below 10 times your base bet, not 10%, yeah, 10 times, then do this. And if your profit is above 10 times your base bet, then do this. So if you're playing with 100 and if your profit is negative 1,001, do something. And if you're playing and your profit is plus 1,001, do something. Remember, at 1,001, we want to take that $1. We want to take that $1,000 and we want to hold that and then we want to start over, right? Okay. So at the negative base bet, it's if, right? If the mode equals 1, then if the mode equals 1, no, hold on, let's go back. If profit is less than the negative base bet, we want the mode to be, we want the mode to be 2. We want the mode to be 2, right? Because we're in mode 1, we're in the range, and if it goes out, we go to mode 2, right? Now, if the, if profit is greater than 0, if profit is greater than 0, because we're multiplying by 2 at the bottom limit, because we're multiplying by 2, if we were to ever win, therefore we would be back within range. Because if we lose 1, we win 2. If we lose 2, we win 4. Because we're multiplying by 2 now, right? At the bottom. Up here, we're multiplying by 2%, 0.02 in the range. We're multiplying by 0.02. Out of range, we're multiplying by 2. So once we win, we would be back. We would be back in range. So if profit is greater than 0, then mode will put mode back to 1. Right? Makes sense to me. Okay. And then out of range, if profit is less than that, but so if it's not, right? So here we're at this if statement now. If profit is less than negative 10 times your base bet, go to do this stuff, right? But if not, we'll just also go to, it's got to be mode equals 1. You default to mode equals 1, right? What is this? Okay. Default to mode equals 1. Now remember what I said. Remember this switch here? I said that if it enters out of the limit, out of the bottom limit, minus 10%, the first time it enters in there, it needs to have a switch to be divided by 10. And this is where we can define that switch. we can say if mode equals 1, right? Then switch equals 1. Because originally we're gonna put switch at 0. Oh shit, I didn't put a switch up here, so I'll do a switch equals 0. So switch is gonna be off. When the switch is on, so it'll check mode, it'll go in here, oh it's under 10%. And the mode is 1. Okay, then we'll put the switch to 1, right? And then what? And then now switch is 1. So here we come out, it's on mode 2, switch is 1. It goes to mode 2 and it lost. And if it lost, then switch equals 1. Then it will do the next bet divided by 10, turn the switch off. And if it loses again, it will come back in this loop again, right? And then we do next bet, previous bet times 2. So we're locking it into mode 2 if it were to lose. But that first, we need to divide it by 10, remember, because I explained it earlier why. We're going to minimize the risk, right? By dividing it by 10 and trying to just get that graph back up into the range. So that seems to be it for that. The only thing is like if the profit, if you make 10 times your base bet, let's just print something. Print collecting 10x of base bet. And then we can reset. We can reset the entire code again. So what? Well, we're gonna have to write another function. Reset all. We'll call this reset all, right? All right, let's go up here. What is reset all? We will define reset all. Okay. Reset all will just sort of earlier when I drew what I drew here, when I said, hey, we're gonna do this. When I said this right here. So this purple or pink, whatever it's called. If it goes above here, we're gonna reset all. So we're gonna move the 0, this 0 graph, we're gonna move that 0 back up here. That's what we're gonna do. That's all we're doing. So we're gonna reset everything, run the algorithm all over again. You could even like go like this. Run the algorithm over. That's confusing. Holy crap. Hold on. So we're pretty much going bam, bang, bang. 0, 10, minus 10. So it's like we're starting this graph over. We're kind of moving this graph up, this entire thing up in the up direction, right? So see what's down here? Now we're moving it up to here. So that's what we're doing, okay? To reset all, so here's our initial stuff that we have here. We can say base bet. So this is where the static BB comes to work, right? So we could say base bet is static BB because static BB holds the original base bet. We're gonna put mode back to 1. True profit, we don't want to reset that because we're trying to keep track of it throughout the entire running process. We can put switch back to 0 in case it's not at 0. True profit, wager, we want to keep the wager, so we're not going to reset that. And then our next bet, and then yeah, our next bet will be our base bet, right? When we reset all. Okay. And then here we might as well do some prints too, because we're here, right? So we're going to print out the true profit here. Every time it makes a profit, and then we're also going to print out wager. So every time it makes a profit, right? Every time it makes 1,000, every time we collect that 1,000, we're gonna have it print this. We're gonna have it print the statistics. So string.format 8 decimal places, true profit. Okay. String.format 8 decimal places, wager. So if it collects 10 times your base bet, it will print out the true profit and the wager every single time. And I'm trying to think of like what other issues can we run into? Well, let's see. Well, when do we want to stop? When do we want to stop? If true profit is greater than or equal to base bet times, let's say, I'll say target multiple, target multi, then stop, print, we won. We won. And then I'll say whatever the target multiple is, target multiple X money, right? So say, oh, so here we will define target multiple. Target multi equals 10. This would be also our stop script limit. So here, if true profit is greater than or equal to the base bet times 10, we can't do times 10 because then it would just run one time. Because we're saying if the profit gets to base bet times 10 collect. So say it will collect once and then it'll stop. So it will collect 1,000 and then it'll stop. 1,000 and stop. So let's do 100x. So we collect 10,000. Okay. So do 100x. That will collect 10,000. Oh, and then we will end this. And then, you know what? When we reset, we also want to reset stats. And we want to reset seed. What is reset seed? Resetting seed is similar to like walking to a different slot machine. So there's seeds when you're playing, and it's just so that you don't think the computer is cheating you, right? So you reset the seed, you go to a different slot machine, because it's like maybe if you're playing somewhere too long, you're like, dude, well, is this thing learning the patterns that I'm doing? So the way to minimize that, or that's what they say. I don't know if it really matters to reset the seed, but let's just do it because it's there and you can do it. So you reset the seed and it's like going to another machine and then playing it, right? That's what it's similar to. Okay. So that's what we got. Let me make sure I got everything in my notes here. Yeah, static base bet is static. Switch equals 0. Mode is back to 1. Next bet is the base bet. That's cool. And for now, let's do target multiple 10. Okay, we're just gonna run this code, and I think that's it. So we're just gonna run this code, and then we'll see how it works. Okay. So What in the hell am I doing? Here we go. We're gonna put the graph at 1,000. We'll show the top 25 bets. Save. Stop. All right. So let's see what this does. Start chart, damn it. Start over. Let me start over. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. We're betting at 100. You can see here. And in mode 1 within range, we're only going up by 2%. You see that? 102, 102. If we win, we just bet 100. So here we go. We're going up. If we make 10 times our base bet, which means if we make 1,000, then this thing will stop. Okay, so it's only going to 102. And I would think that it was supposed to go more. It's supposed to go to like 104 or something. Let's see what's going on here. If win next bet is base bet, else next bet is base bet plus previous bet times 0.02. I think it might be base bet plus the base bet times 2%. So you're always adding a 2% on top of it, right? That works. I mean, it's not going to 104 or whatever, but it's fine. Oh, look, so this made it. Look at printed right here. We won 10x money. True profit 1,004. This is how much we wagered, 4,536. So this graph never went down. Luck was on our side, and we just played it. It went up, made 1,000, and it checked out. So reset. We'll run this again. So our profit is still, ooh, we won again. We still haven't gone to the bottom range. Like, we keep winning. So look, zeros right here. It barely went down. It needs to go down to negative 1,000, and that's when the other algorithm kicks in, okay? So let's try it again. Here we go. Boom. Yeah, so it bet at 10 and it won 10. So let me stop this. So look at, where's the bet? Ah, damn it. I saw it, but I should have stopped it. So right here is where 1,000 is, negative 1,000. It bet 10 because we were betting, our base bet is 100, right? We divide that by 10 and we get 10. 100 divided by 10 is 10. We bet 10, we win 20, we jump up here, boom. We jump up here, and now it goes back to base bet, lost, and then it won, and then won, and then we're back up into the range that we want to be in. So let's keep going. I'll stop it. Okay, there we go. Bam. Okay, let's stop this bet. Okay, let's see what happened here. So check it out right here. 10 went down, lost. 110 went down, 100. 100 multiply by 2, right? Boom, 200, back up in the range. We're gonna resume. Bam, we won. 1,034, we wagered 19,706. Isn't that crazy? You know what I am iffy about though? I'm a little iffy about it went 10, it won, but it wasn't back in the range yet. It went 10 and then it won and then it wasn't back in the range yet. And it went to 100. It went back to base bet. So why did it go back to base bet? Let's go to check mode. So if profit is less than the base bet times 10. Ah. Okay. So if profit is less than, we're not going to use base bet because base bet changes over time. We have to use static BB. Right there. And you know what? If profit is greater than static BB too, we'll do that to be safe because static BB holds the original 100. Static BB, it's just static. It never changes. It's always 100, right? There we go. So maybe that will do that. That will change that. I'm iffy about this one too, man. We're gonna do this bit. Okay, we'll do static BB here too because that base bet fucking changes, dude. So we want to add 2 cents every time. Okay. Let's see how that goes. Right. Okay. Run this. We're getting to minus 900. Gonna go lower. It shot back up already. Right here. Boom. So see this process right here within range. What's cool is we don't care. We don't really care. Dude, like play in the range as long as you want, man. Because it's wagering our money, you know? There we go. 10, 20, 40. There we go. Stop. Here we go. Look at this. Check this out. There we go. Look, it lost at 10 right here. Look at that. You see these little dots right here? 10, 20, 40. 10, 20, 40. 10, 20, 40. Boom. 180. It's back in range. So it went to 100. Boom. Came back down. Lost again. Went back to 10. Lost again over here and over here. So we have a 10 here. And we are back in range. That's why it's betting by 100 again. So let's resume. Going up, damn. Whoa. Look at all those losses. So my thing is that, why is it only betting at 102? Why is it betting at only 102? It doesn't go to 104. If mode 1, if lose, the next bet is going to be base bet plus the static bet times previous bet, dude. It's got to be previous bet plus the static bet times 2%. Okay. So that's where we're at. Here we go. This is going to be it. This is the one. 2 4, see? 2 0 2 4. Let me stop it. There we go. Look. 100, 102, 104. It wins at 104. It goes back to 100. There we go. That's it. That's what was off. So look, we're only running this one time because we're saying only to go to 10, right? We're only saying to go to 10x our money, which is 100 to 1000. Let's go to 30x our money. Right? We change this to 30. And let's go start. It's not 30x our money. 30x our base bet. We haven't times any of our money. We just want to times our base bet, whatever it is, right? We want to see this go down a little low, man. Because eventually it goes down really low. I mean, it could go down to like negative like $2,000 or something, right? So there, boom, we won once. So right here, look. We're 30xing our money. This is 10x. Boom, we won. It showed the wager. We wagered 13,000. Resume. Nice wagering, man. Really nice fucking wagering. Look at this shit. Remember, we're collecting profit just cause. The whole goal of this was just to wager, right? And I'm saying like, okay, if we reach a certain, if we reach a certain threshold, might as well collect the money. So, and then and then wager again. Just go back to wagering. But I want to collect that before you lose it all, you know, and before you play it and lose it all. So that's what we're doing. It's kind of like a like water, and then these, I don't know. I'm seeing like money pop up real quick, and when the money comes up, we just grab it, and then it goes back into the water and does something, and then it pop, and then money comes back up, and then we grab it. That's kind of what we're doing. Boom, there it is. There's that big one, and we're back up in the range. See that? Yeah. There we go. We need some luck on our side, man. We're at minus $300 still. We need to get to 1,000. And that'll be, once we get another 1,000, that'll be 20% of our money, right? 20% of our base bet. Keep saying our money. It's not our money. It's freaking 20% of the base bet. So we'll just sit here. Let this thing ride it out. It's trying to get back into the 1,000 range right now. Struggling. All right, we're back up. There we go. We're back in the range. See, so right here, you see all these small tiny bets here? That's the dividing by 10. Trying to get it back up, and then boom, it went back up. Again. There we go. Finally, come on, see? Eventually, it pushes luck over to the other 50%. Like you're at the bottom, you're like, I'm losing, and then eventually it just pushes it all the way up. See? Bam. Okay, so now we've won true profit 1,912. So we won 19% of our base bet. Resume. One more. So it's like you play at the bad luck for a long time, and then eventually it's like, come on. Just let me win, man. There we go. True profit 3,028, and we've wagered 110,812. Dude, that's it. That's great. That is great. So that's how this script works, guys. We can do other things real quick. Like let's make a loss count. Like we want to know what is the highest loss count, right? Because the graph resets, and when the graph resets, or the stats reset, right? I mean, when we go to reset all, everything resets. So we're gonna have to keep track of lose count. So we're gonna do lose count equals 0, and we're gonna say highest lose count equals 0. All right. So lose count is gonna be whenever we lose. So in mode 1, when we lose here, we're going to say lose count equal lose count plus 1. And in mode 2, when we lose, we're going to say lose count equal lose count plus 1. If we win, we're going to say lose count equals 0 for mode 2. For mode 1, if we win, we're going to say lose count equal 0. Once we win, we reset the lose count, right? We want the highest lose count, the HLC, right? So lose count plus 1. Here, if we say if lose count is greater than HLC, which is 0, at the default it's 0, and later on it'll change. So if the lose count is greater than 0, then the highest lose count equals the lose count, right? And boom. And then we will do the same thing up here for mode 1. For mode 1, if the lose count is greater than the highest lose count, then lose count, then highest lose count equals the lose count, right? And here we can print the highest lose count. Let's do, let me just write it. Jeez. Print highest lose count dot HLC. We don't need these %.8f because we don't need any decimals, right? So highest lose count is that, bam. And that is that. So that's how we'll get that's how it'll show the highest lose count. Let's run it one time. So we've got it set to just make 10 times the base bet. Stop, start. So this is like, it's a tug of war right now. The casino's trying to jack your money. That's what's going on. And then we're trying to push the luck to our side, right? We're like, come on, we've lost a lot already. Let us win. Go push up. 400. Damn it. Wants to just keep wagering, man. Oh, come on, dude. Back to negative. Come on. Hopefully you guys understood what I was showing you. You can also, modify the script. You can, change the base bet to 1,000 or whatever. I don't know if I would recommend it because I don't know what the minimum balance you would need in order for this to work in the long run if you were to run this like, for 100. But the whole point of, gambling honestly is to always have a limit. You need a point of where you take the money. So say you make 10%, stop, come back the next day. Or you can let it run really, really low and then make like a 1% or something, because your chances of getting more than that is gonna actually reach the limit of where the house wins. Yeah, I'll have another algorithm. I have another thing. So I always wanted to code like what the minimum bounce needed is. So usually you play, you don't know what the minimum bounce is. The minimum bounce you need is like, it'll tell you like the highest bet, the largest bet. You made the largest bet, but that largest bet doesn't say how much money you need, because you needed to bet one more bet in order to win that bet, right? Like it's not like, oh, it says the lowest you lost was $1,000 and you just need $1,000. No, if the lowest loss was $1,000, then you've lost $1,000 and you don't have any more capital to make that $1,000, right? To make it back. So I'm gonna do another script where it tells you actually the minimum balance needed according to the highest lose count. So whatever the most you've lost, take the highest bet, you add it to the next bet that actually you're supposed to play in order to make that money back. And then that's how you get your minimum balance that you will need in order to survive this. Right? So here we go. We won 1,000 here. We wagered 97,752. Highest lose count was 7. That's it, guys. That's the whole damn script. I have some links below. Like and subscribe. This was about an hour and 2 minutes, which I thought I was actually going to go for much longer, which isn't that bad. Thanks for tuning in. Follow the script, man. I'll give out the script to you guys. in some form of way. It'll be posted at the bottom. Maybe if you guys signed up to my affiliate link or something and then message me, and I'll just give you guys a script straight up. But this is a great wagering script for Dicebot. And let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, if you've got any suggestions, if you've got any other algorithms you want me to try and mess around with, feel free to message me, let me know. And thanks for watching, guys, and good luck with your gambling and your dice scripts. I'll see you guys on the next one.